All right, we will call the June 5th meeting of the El Paso County Planning Commission to order. I'm Jay Carlson, I'm the new chairman. I welcome you all today. We've got a lot of moving parts today, so we'll bear with us as we kind of readjust a few things and put some things off. So we'll get started with identifying voting members today. Ms. Jack will be voting, Mr. Byers, Mr. Moraes, Mr. Schipple, Mr. Whitney, Mr. Markowitz, and myself. Let's move on to staff. You have some announcements?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Justin Kilgore, Planning Manager.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith will be voting as well. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a few items for you this morning. If everyone would, please stay on the Planning Commission for an update on our program that we use, Passageways. After the meeting, Jessica's going to go through some updates with that program that y'all get your information with. Also, there is a summer schedule. So the next meeting is June 19th for this month. However, in the month of July and August, we only have one meeting, and those are the 17th of July and August 7th.
August 7th?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
And also, if I may, sir, I would like to ask for a continuance to a date certain of item 3B, that is VR 235.
253?
VR 235, sir. Item 3B.
My thing says it's VR 253, is it?
No, mine says 235.
If it's on this sheet, sir,
Yeah.
the 5 and the 3 are transposed.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sorry about
So the
that.
correct number is 235.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Sego, are you online? I'm just wondering whether we need to vote on the continuance or not. Why don't we go ahead?
Yes, Lori Sego from the County Attorney's Office. The continuance does require a motion, a second, and a vote.
All right. Well, let's, do you have other announcements?
No, sir. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Great. Well, let's, we'll get to that when we get to those items. But I guess the first thing to do then is to approve the minutes from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at those and have any comments? Seeing none, we'll accept those as written. All right. As to agenda item number 3B, VR 235, vacation replat Peyton Ranch is filing number 1A. The county has requested to delay that to the June 19th meeting, is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. Great, so I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Schipple.
I move to move agenda item 3B, file number VR 235 from the agenda today to the agenda on June 19th.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Whitney, seconds. Take the vote. Ms. Jack?
Aye.
Mr. Byers? Is he not here today? Mr. Moraes?
Aye.
Mr. Schipple?
Aye.
Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Mr. Markowitz?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. So item 3B, VR 235 will be moved to the June 19th meeting. All right, agenda item 3C, file number SF 2426. Final plat for Team Chris subdivision. I understand that there's been some negotiation and work on that project so far. Does anybody want to see that brought up as a regular item?
I do.
Mr. Moraes? Okay, so we'd like to pull that, make that a regular.
And just to address the questions from the citizens really that came in yesterday.
Okay.
That'll be the focus.
Great. And then on to item 3D, file number SP243, preliminary plan, Rising Moon, filing number 1 and 2. Would anybody like to see that pulled and read as a regular item?
I just have some questions. I don't need to be pulled. I have some questions for the staff and applicant. Doesn't really need to be a full agenda item, but we can hold off because I know there's some other issues. We can hold off to the very end. Just do them in order, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I'll be presenting this today, sir. I'm just
Okay.
getting prepared.
Let's, I guess let's move ahead with the item 3D then as a consent item. Why don't you voice your questions, Mr. Murray?
Yeah, just let me go back to my notes here real quick. Give me 1 second. And this, I guess, is more for the applicant. I see that the applicant proposes to develop single-family detached housing, designating at least 14 of the 41 single-family homes for employees of the school district, and the remaining lots will be for Habitat qualifying families. This is the first time I've seen this, and so it seems unique. I just had some questions on this, just maybe more for my education than anything else. The questions are really, will those 14 lots be designated and memorialized somewhere? I didn't see it in any of the paperwork at this point. Maybe it comes in the final plat. A question, does a school district own these? Like if there's no longer an employee, if these are designated for employees of the school district and the person who's living there no longer is an employee, can they still live there? If it's sold to this employee of the school district, is there some time before they, have to keep it before they can sell it? And do they have to sell it to another employee? Yeah, so again, this is very unique and the first time I'm ever seeing this, and maybe it's come up before, but those are my questions that really, maybe I just have the applicant answer those.
Great. And let me interject right now. I need to recuse myself on this item. I have sat on the board of Habitat for Humanity and are currently on a committee, so I shouldn't be involved in this. Ms. Segal, I'll leave the room for this, but do I come back then again to address the other items on the agenda? Ms. Segal, are you there?
I am. I apologize for the delay in responding. Yes, you would leave the room for this particular item. You're welcome to come back for the other item.
Great.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
May I suggest maybe we just go and do 3C? You could remain here for that, and then when we get to 3D, answer my questions, and then you don't have to come back if you don't want, I guess.
Let's
Up to you.
just move ahead since it's on the
Okay.
consent. Okay. So I'll leave. Mr. Moraes is going to chair the meeting since Mr. Trowbridge's not here today. He'll chair it for this item, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, let's see. So this is first time doing this, so a little bit of grace, please. But I guess we're going to still run this as a consent item, but if the applicant could just answer the questions, if anybody else has any other questions. Sure, please. Give me 1 second. Either place, but just 1 second,
Either's
please.
good.
Just double checking, Ms. Segal, if you're still there, or
Yes,
6 makes a quorum, correct?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, so I'm Chris Lewis. I'm the CEO of Pikes Peak Habitat for Humanity. And this program came together in collaboration with School District 3, as well as Careers in Construction Colorado and Pikes Peak Habitat. As far as any deed restrictions, that sets the bar as to how the land can, or the homes can move forward. We will have a 90-year deed restriction. We do that on all of our properties. This keeps the homes in affordability. So we sell to the qualifying families earning 80% or less of the area median income. School District 3 employees, particularly early career teachers, will financially qualify for that. They will also have to qualify by fulfilling their sweat equity and qualify for the mortgage. It's an affordable mortgage. So there are 3 criteria on that. They do not, once they all have to be employed by School District 3 for the minimum of the 14. If for some reason they change career paths and are no longer a member with School District 3, they still remain in the home. Now, what we don't have codified, but what we've discussed with School District 3 is that we will develop other neighborhoods and we will continue to work with them and hopefully keep moving School District 3 employees in. So we're a home ownership program. We're not a lease. So those families, once they buy the home, they own the home and then they continue to make the mortgage. That was one. The 90-year deed restriction to keep it affordable. There was another one you had.
Yeah, are the lots designated? So out of the 41 lots,
We own them, and so there's another partner in the group, which is also Careers in Construction Colorado. As we build 7 to 12 homes a year, as School District 3 employees qualify, then we will determine which lot. We own the lots, but we build based on the size of the family. So let's say they need a 2-bedroom versus a 5-bedroom. The lot sizes are pretty consistent, but we will have to determine which size home goes on which lot. So that's up to us. The school district does not own it going forward. We own it.
okay, so at some point you're going to designate, hey, these 14 lots will be designated for school district employees.
Not the lots, the homes that
The
are on
homes.
the lots.
The
Yes.
homes, okay,
Yeah.
the homes will
Yeah,
be
it takes us
designated.
about 10 months to build a home. They're in process for about 12 months because there's a lot of education and sweat equity they have to do.
Right.
But they will know once they enter the program, this lot is yours, this is where we will build the home.
Okay. So we talked about they're no longer employees, they still remain, and if they sell it at that point, do they have to sell it to an employee of the school district?
They do not, but that what we can do, because the school district will be tracking the number of employees who have applied, then we can continue. Again, it's a minimum of 14. So if they have other qualifying families that are employees of the school district, they will continue to go through our annual to biannual family application, and we'll just keep building with those families. We're not restricted to only 14. Now, they can sell their homes. There is a restriction. So we sell to 80% AMI. With this deed restriction, they can only sell up to 100% of the area median income to keep it affordable. Okay. And then there is a cap. So traditionally, in normal markets, you receive 2 to 3% of equity year over year in a good market instead of the crazy 18 to 20%. We do cap the equity that they can receive to prevent flipping. The other thing that we do to prevent flipping is we have a second mortgage. It's a silent mortgage. So let's say the family, it appraises at $350,000. Because of the family's income, they only qualify, say, for a $200,000 mortgage. We sell, their first is $200,000. There's a second mortgage at $150,000. Both would have to be paid off completely if they were to sell the home. That also prevents flipping.
Okay, and then I guess the last question, I didn't bring it up, but my last question is, could they rent this out?
No.
So rentals are not allowed?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a home ownership program.
Okay. Those were my questions. Does anybody else have any questions? Thank you.
Mr. Moraes,
Yes.
Justin Kilgore, Planning Manager. I just want to let you know that there is someone that has requested to be called in for this item that we just got notified of.
Okay.
If you want to hear that, sir.
Yeah. Let's see, I guess we could open a public hearing to hear this comment, close it, and we'll have an applicant rebuttal if at all, and then proceed. Okay, so with that, let's open the public hearing at 9:16 a.m. and we'll welcome the person online.
Unknown participant is now joining.
Hello, you're on with the El Paso County Planning Commission.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good. Go ahead and state your name, and then you could discuss what you want to discuss.
Okay, my name is James Hallbritter. I live right next to where they're going to plan, was it Rising Moon development? I had a question, and it was about the fence line that meets up with all the properties on Shining Star. Are they going to build a fence connecting, or because the reason why I ask is I'm looking to have my fence replaced, and I don't know if I should do that or should I wait? Depending on what's going on as far as planned construction in that area.
Okay, thank you. It's not a back and forth, but I'm sure the applicant during the rebuttal portion will, or their chance to talk, they will talk. Did the applicant hear that question in its entirety, just to make sure? Okay. Okay, well, thank you, and we will continue on. Thanks for your call. With that, I might as well open up if there's anybody in the audience, since the public hearing is open, that wants to address this topic. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and deem the public hearing closed at 9:18 a.m. And at that point, if the applicant wants to talk about anything the public had brought up.
Good morning. Andrea Barlow with NES. I would just want to address that one question from the neighbour. So the Shining Star development is to the east, and there will be new fencing as part of the lot development. So as each lot is constructed, there will be new fencing proposed. So we can work with them to replace the fence between his property and the new property.
Okay.
But there is proposed to be a 6-foot privacy fence around the lots.
Okay, thank you. And if the applicant's still listening, if you look at the packet, you could get in touch with the applicant's representative, and discuss timing and all that.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, with that,
Mr. Chair, may I make a motion, please?
go right ahead.
In regards to item number 3D, file number SP 243, preliminary plan for Rising Moon filing number 1 and 2, I move for approval in accordance with the attached resolution with 3 conditions and 2 notations, with a finding of sufficiency for water quality and dependability, that this item be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration.
Okay, and we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second was, okay, Ms. Jack? Okay, with the motion second, is there any discussion on this topic? Okay, no discussion. We'll go ahead and take the roll. Let's go in order. Ms. Jack?
Aye.
He's not here. Mr. Schulpitz?
Yeah, aye.
Aye. Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Mr. Markowitz?
Aye.
Okay, and I will vote aye. And with that, the motion passes.
Mr. Chair?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. Your name was scribbled out over here, so go ahead, Mr. Smith. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it. It's okay. Aye.
Aye, okay. And I'll vote aye. So with that, this item number, agenda file number SP 243 is approved or recommended unanimously. And with that, I guess we can get Mr. Carlson back in the room.
All right. The records show that Chairman's back. Welcome back. Yes, thank you. Oh, good. Thanks.
Thank you. In regards to item 3C, I am Ms. Samler's financial advisor, so I will be recusing myself from this item.
Alrighty.
So for the Chris team,
Yeah, great. All right, thank you.
So, thank you.
All right, I guess we're ready to move on to regular items. Item 3C, file number SF 2426, final plat Team Chris subdivision. Staff, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to let you know, this will be modified a little bit. Staff and the applicant have worked into the wee hours, and I believe the applicant actually has an updated drawing for the easement to this property. And I will get there in just a moment, sir. So this is SF 2426 for Team Chris subdivision. Mr. Ryan Hauser and Miss Matthew, Miss Matthew is now with the Parks Department, did this for you. They were your staff. And Mr. Joseph Sandstrom was the engineer. For public input, if you're watching remotely and have not provided a name and reliable telephone number and wish to participate, if you would please email that information to pcdhearings@elpasoco.com. Here's the request. It is for approval of a 19.39 acre final plat. It'll have 3 single-family lots. The property and the surrounding property are all RR5. This access that you see on Little Squirrel Lane is the access that will change. Here is the criteria of approval, and I can stay on here if you like, Mr. Chair, or I can move on.
Yeah, go ahead, move on. Thank you.
Here is the subject property, the surrounding property. As you can see, it's all RR5. It's near Walker Road and Black Squirrel Road. Does not need this waiver.
You do not need the waiver now? Okay.
It's a large lot residential in the El Paso Master Plan, your El Paso Master Plan. Area of minimal change, undeveloped. It is in the forested area for the key influence. And if you don't mind, Joe, I'll just run through it unless you have something you have to do. It's in the West Kiowa Creek drainage. It's unstudied drainage basin. It's not located within a regulatory floodplain. The site generally drains to the northeast, and it is within a drainage easement. There were no public improvements required, and detention and water quality are not required. The transportation section, it is surrounded by Black Squirrel, Walker Road to the north, and Little Squirrel Lane kind of goes around the property. The 2024 major transportation corridors does not depict future improvements to Black Squirrel Road. A traffic impact study was not required, but the subdivision is subject to the road impact fee program. Here is the posting. It was posted on 5/22. And here is the owner and applicant, and the applicant's representation is here today. And I can answer any questions, or we can have the applicant.
Questions? Anyone?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I just
Whitney.
have a technical question, I think, and maybe it should be left till later when people make their presentation, but there was a representation from the public that this little squirrel or black squirrel or what have you does not meet county standards, and there's a flat out bold statement in the staff report that it does. So which is it?
I'm going to have engineering answer that question for you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Joe Sandstrom, Department of Public Works Engineering. I think you're talking about the private roadway.
Yes.
As far as the standards. Yes, my understanding in the staff report was it talked about that the private roadway being accessible for emergency services as far as fire trucks turning radius. But yes, as far as the roadway construction itself, private roads, especially roads constructed before we imposed requirements on those private roads, are not all constructed to county standards. Does that answer your question?
Okay, it does. And it may be, well, I don't know, Justin, maybe based on what the applicant's been discussing with others, this may be a moot question, but I just noticed the dichotomy between the two statements and was just interested in the response. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Whitney, I believe this may help a little bit with the access. This is the new access down there to the south, the 40-foot access easement on the first two lots accessing Black Squirrel, which will provide access to Lot 1 as well. Little Squirrel Lane won't be used as the access for these.
So would the access be to Black Squirrel for all three of these lots then?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So I guess there's a follow-up, if you don't.
Yes, Ms. Moraes?
So the county will provide a driveway permit, because I think that was the problem that I read, at least in the letter of intent, was the stumbling block was a driveway permit access from Black Squirrel into this lot.
Mr. Moraes, would you give me just a second?
Sure. They're talking some high-tech engineering stuff.
Mr. Moraes, would you repeat the question?
Yeah,
for
so
Mr. Sandstrom?
I guess the original issue where everybody had to use Little Squirrel Lane was that the county wasn't going to provide another driveway permit, but now the county will provide another driveway permit for this easement.
Yeah, I went back and I looked at some of the communication for this. So generally, the county prefers or requires access to be from the lower classification roadway, and both Black Squirrel and the Little Squirrel are both would be considered local roadways. And so when the applicant originally submitted the lot configuration on the final plat, there was no access easement to Black Squirrel Road. And so those lots, the only frontage those lots had was onto the private roadway. And so I don't remember, there may have been a meeting or a discussion where we were requesting that they access to there, but yeah, there is no criteria requirement that they would have to access the private road versus the Black Squirrel roadway.
Okay. Makes sense to me. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions for staff?
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
Justin. Over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, okay, sir. So the land development code would require the public access, and that was the waiver earlier. So that's why they no longer need the waiver, because they are accessing the public road now. Before it was a private road.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes,
So,
Mr.
Justin,
Sh-
I just want to clarify, so the waiver was for these lots to use Little Squirrel Lane, which is the private road. Now, after, I'm assuming discussion about the roadway and stuff, the developer has decided to not use Little Squirrel as the access and put in its own driveway on the other side of the property to access all three lots.
Yes, sir, that's correct. So the very short backstory for that is the applicant had some concerns with some comments from enumerations, trying to be helpful with the neighbors. Everybody would have to have an address change. Some of the neighbors had issues with Little Squirrel Lane not being the most improved road and having extra traffic on that road. So engineering and the applicant got together and came up with the solution that Ms. Ruiz presented.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. The applicant going to join us?
Nina Reese with Vertex Consulting. Justin already covered a lot of it, and a lot of the discussion has already occurred as well. I did want to just give a huge thanks to Mr. LaForce, though, for allowing the access and really solving the problems of everyone by allowing for that access. So great job. Thank you. So as was discussed before, the plat is going to be revised. Our surveyor did not have time yesterday to get it done in a formal fashion, so I just put this slide together to depict what it will look like. So we're proposing a 40-foot access easement along the south that would be for the benefit of all 3 lots. The existing easements for the existing private roadway are proposed to remain as is so that people could still continue to utilize that private drive the same way as they have for multiple years. I have spoke with the adjacent property owners who submitted letters yesterday and again today as well, and they're here. So I believe that this resolves their concerns. So I don't know if there's really a need to go into any more detail beyond that, simply because Mr. Kilgore covered it all, but are there any specific questions?
Anyone?
No, that answered my questions.
Any other questions? No, I guess we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I do see where I missed one thing, and it's on this slide right here. So it doesn't need a waiver for the private road. It does need the waiver for the frontage here, though.
I can just point to it. So he's talking about lots 1 and 2. They won't technically have the 20 feet of frontage onto a public roadway. So they need a waiver, but it's not a waiver of a private road meeting county standards. That's what you were referring to.
That's right.
Okay.
Will that need to be worked into our motion to approve what we're doing here?
Yes, sir. If you would. Thank you.
And so that's for a waiver of the easement required on lots 1 and 2, is that right?
I believe you could probably just read what's on this slide, sir. The waiver is for the road frontage requirement.
Did you say frontage roadside requirement?
The road frontage requirement.
Road frontage.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, could I ask one question, which
Yes.
is impossible to answer, so the fact that I'm asking it shouldn't include any message. It doesn't, but I'm just interested. In one of the letters we received, there was concern about the postings, not so much that they might not have gone up at the right time, but they didn't stay up and they fell on the ground and they did this and they did that. As a technical matter, do we do any follow-up? Is it possible to do any follow-up in weather conditions? What's the requirement? And maybe this is for Ms. Segal, but once we post, are we using the right staples or what are we doing? Is there any way to
Unknown
know whether those
participant is now
postings hold?
exiting.
So I guess this is a great time for a public service announcement. So when neighbors or passersby identify that a sign is down and they call the office, sometimes it's due to rain, weather, blown away, especially out east. Sometimes they'll just blow right off and go a mile down the road. We do print out new posters for applicants. So if they do see them, applicants are generally very good about coming to the office and getting new posters. However, the notice just has to be posted within that time. They generally take a picture of it. Unfortunately, the posters do kind of blow away. You get run over, get wet, those types of things. But that is one of the 3 options that we have, or as one of the 3 methods that we have for neighbor notification. We also post it in the newspaper, and we also do a neighbor notification based on the size of the project, whether it's a certain radius around the property.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
So there's no requirement that this thing has visibly been up for so many days or whatever, just the fact that it's been posted and to the best of our ability.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right, is there any one here in the public who would like to speak in favor of this item? Seeing none, is there anybody who'd like to speak against this item? Yes, sir. Come on up, give us your name and sign in, please.
Hello, I'm Gary Byerly. My lot, my 10-acre lot adjoins on the, or not adjoins, is nearby on the southwest corner. I believe my major, so I'm the one who wrote the major letter of concern, but with the help of Justin and Joe and Ryan, planning department, I believe all of our concerns that I was addressing on my letter have been addressed. I came here today to verify that the 54-foot easement, it's a really major concern. That private road encroaches badly onto these properties. The developer is accommodating us with a 54-foot easement on the north side, turn the corner on the west end for 103 feet. That 54-foot easement continues, so that's all good. A major concern was for lot 1 and 2 not to have access onto this private road. That's been addressed and taken care of. And so it's very appreciative of everybody's involvement and consideration that these issues have been resolved. And so I don't see, I'm really not here in opposition. I'm here to say thank you to everyone that was helpful in making this happen so that we can avoid further confusion and conflict. I'm just hopeful that maybe it's beyond what we're able to ask for, but maybe to kind of ask that I'm hopeful that the covenants will possibly restrict the homes to be stick built rather than modular. I'm hopeful of that. Maybe that all of the structures would be on the south side of the center line drainage problem that exists on the property. Animal restrictions, I'm hopeful for no pigs, and some number of animals is somewhat restricted a little bit, and that proper corral setbacks are maintained. Aside from that, I think everything is in order of what I would hope for. And again, just major appreciation to the planning department, Justin, Joe Sandstrom, Ryan Hauser, and all of you for your time and consideration. And Nina also, thank you for helping to make this come together without future problems. Thank you all for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody involved as well. I'd love to see these issues getting figured out before we come to a meeting like this and have to hash things out and delay things and so forth. So it's great that everybody was able to work together and accommodate where they could and come to an agreement. So thank you. Any other comments? Yeah, Mr. Moraes.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the conditions so we don't screw this up. If the staff can kind of look through this. I don't think condition 7 or 6 are applicable anymore. I may be wrong.
You're correct, sir.
Okay, so 6 and 7 go away. So there's only 5, and it's 1 through 5. And then we have to somewhere in our motion annotate as discussed the platting as, or the plat as discussed during the meeting.
Correct. Any other comments right now? So yeah, I would entertain a motion that needs to include that those conditions number 6 and 7 are no longer included, that the road frontage easement requirement is what's the correct verbiage there? Not required? Do we need is that a variance or what is that?
Waiver.
It would be a waiver of that road frontage requirement, sir. And I believe if you just state it on the record, Ms. Sego can correct me. if I'm wrong, but I have Mr. Hauser downstairs updating the PC resolution to have that code section in there. And that should take care of everything. But I believe if you stated on the record, sir, that the waiver for the road frontage requirement has been recommended for approval, that will be just fine.
Okay. So recommendation for the a waiver of the road frontage requirement. And then I'm assuming this plan will be corrected and in the right format when it gets to county commissioners, correct? So
Yes, sir. That's correct.
we need to note that this 40-foot access easement will be in place as well. So who would like the challenge of getting that all into a motion?
I'll give it a whirl.
Mr. Murray.
Yeah, let's see. Everybody look at me crazily if I do this one wrong, but Mr. Chair, with regards to agenda item 3C for file number SF2426 for a final plat for Team Chris subdivision, I move for approval in accordance with the attached resolution and with 5 conditions, those being 1 through 5, as listed in the staff package, and 4 notations, and one waiver of the road frontage requirement, and noted that the plat will be as discussed and depicted at today's meeting. And with a finding of sufficiency for water quality, quantity, and dependability, and that this item be forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners for their consideration.
Great.
Second.
Who seconded that? Mr. Schippel, second. We'll take the vote. Any other discussion before we take a vote? All right. Ms. Jack?
Aye.
Mr. Moraes?
Aye.
Mr. Schippels?
Aye.
Mr. Whitney?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. So item 3C, file number SF2426, final plat Team Chris subdivision is unanimously approved. Two things I didn't get to. Number one, I want to clarify the record that voting members today need to be corrected. Mr. Smith was a voting member, but Mr. Byers was not here. So he was not a voting member today. I stated that to begin with. And then I skipped over our public comment section. Is there anyone in the crowd that would like to speak to us on some item that is not on the agenda today? I don't see any, so thank you. All right, any other announcements from staff or anyone else? We all good? Great, thank you all. We are adjourned.